When you're creating an event on your calendar, it's a simple click or double click away. Let's go look at some examples. It depends on what view you are in as to what time frame you're going to have available for you. So we'll come back and we'll talk about that. Right now I just want to talk about the 3 ways to create an event. I'm in the calendar view, the monthly view, and so when I double click on a date, I'm just going to double click here on the 27th, it automatically takes me into a new untitled event. Now I have that maximized. Let me click the restore down button because by default it'll be a window that you can move around. If you want it to take up the entire screen, you can maximize it and then it'll take up the entire screen. It's totally up to you. But notice what happened when I clicked on a calendar date. It automatically made an all-day event. We'll show you how to change that in just a moment. All right, so one way to create an event is double-click. A second way to create an event is right-click. And when you right-click, you get new appointment or new all-day event. The only difference between these two is obviously this one is an all-day event, and if you choose new appointment, the new appointment is going to allow you to establish a time frame for that particular event. Third way to create an event is on the Home tab. The very first button on the ribbon is New Appointment, and so you would simply click New Appointment. And let me resize this. I don't want that to take up the entire window right now. Again, notice that what happened here is when I said I want a new appointment, I was in the calendar view, but I didn't double click on a particular date. Then it said, oh, well, then you must want it on this date at 8 a.m. to 8:30. Regardless of what the defaults are, you can change these defaults at any time you would like to. Well, I have an untitled appointment going here. Let's take a look at how I can make some changes to this appointment. I can say what the subject line is, and when I type the subject line, that's going to become the title of the appointment. This is my picnic planning committee meeting, and as soon as I click off of that line, see, now that is the title of this particular appointment, and it shows me right up here that I'm creating an appointment. Now what's the location? You do not have to include a location, but you can if you want to. Whoopsie. So I want the HR conference room. Now if this date or time is incorrect, you simply modify it. So if the start date or time is wrong, let's say the date's wrong, you can click here on this little calendar and it'll open up the calendar. You can use these arrows to move left or right through the months. You can click and hold on the month and you can simply drag and choose. Maybe you want to go into August, or you can click the button to take you to today. It doesn't matter. You simply choose where you want to go on the calendar. So I want Monday the 26th. And then what time would you like for your creation to happen here? Well, I want to create a meeting starting at 9:30. And I want the meeting to end, and isn't this nice? It gives you half-hour increments. You can choose from the half hour, or you can type your own time in here. If you don't like these times, you can type right over it. But I went from 9:30 to 10:30 for my event. And then here, what I want to do is type any messages or any information about a meeting. Now, I did a copy and paste ahead of time so you don't have to watch me type. But this is one of the reasons that I use the notes section to remind myself things that I want for a meeting. So don't forget to take the picnic schedule. Don't forget to copy the t-shirt designs for everyone. And don't forget to talk to Brenda before the meeting because you want to get her input for the meeting. Ooh, okay, well then, let's talk about one last thing before we save and close this. If these are reminders for me, I don't want to forget to do these things. Speaking of reminders, back up on the appointment ribbon in the options group, by default, every every appointment or event that you create is going to have a default time on here, and it might be 0. You might have a default time of I don't want a reminder, or it might be this default of 15 minutes. The default time is just prior to your meeting, prior to the event that you scheduled. You can set it up so a message pops up in your window, in your computer screen, and reminds you about this particular event. So I want my message to show up. I want it to show up an hour before the meeting. And the reason is because I want to remind myself about these things. Oh yeah, that's right. And that'll give me an hour to prepare for my meeting. Sometimes all I want is just 15 minutes. I just want to remind myself that I have a meeting coming up. So let's set that reminder for 1 hour. And then once you finish the meeting, you simply say save and close. So now I've created on the 26th, there it is right there at 9:30, the picnic planning committee. Let me scroll down just a little bit. And when I rest my mouse on it, you can see, oh, come on, mouse, behave. Okay, there we go. There you go. Picnic planning committee meeting, and it gives the start and top and the location, and that the reminder is going to pop up 1 hour ahead of time. It doesn't show me the notes, so to see the notes, I just double click, and when I double click, it takes me back into the message, and when I'm in the message, then I can see the notes here at the bottom. So know that to access those notes, you'll have to double click. All right, let's click the X to close here. So, little quick review. When you're creating your particular event, you can do it any way you want to. The Home tab will allow you to do the new appointment, the double click, or the right click. And it depends on where you are, what view you're in, what the default is. It's awesome. It's a wonderful feature. And then don't forget, you can set up the reminder, and you can set the reminder up so the little memo or little message pops up on the screen for you to remind you about a particular event that's coming. Nice feature. I think you'll really, really like it, and I know that it's going to be easy for you to create events now, whether they're all-day events or specific time-framed events.
We hope you enjoyed this preview video. Please click on the like button below if you did, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to visit us at www.kalliance.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial today. You could learn a lot in a week.